Yo, welcome back to the channel. I am the Beast, Brian London. Sorry about that. I just kicked the computer. Not in front of my usual green screen, but that's okay, right? Yeah, it is. Um, this video is a part of the series that I've been doing over the course of more than a year now. It's called the Unemployment Diaries, in which I opine, talk, vent about all things being unemployed, because I know a lot of you out there in the economy we find ourselves in find yourselves in the same exact position as me, which is being unemployed. And I feel like I need to get this one in now because it's frustrating. Um, First of all, for me, one of the biggest issues has been trying to convince employers that just because I was in radio for 25 years and then I was in retail education with Code Ninjas for a little less than a year, that I still have plenty of skills and a plethora of characteristics that companies, I think, would love to have. It may not show on my resume exactly what I can do for you. And so it's been tough. It's been tough going through the Indeeds and the ZipRecruiters and the LinkedIns and applying for every job possible. I must apply for, 4 billion jobs a week, and you don't get very many callbacks. And I think there's a couple of reasons for me why that's not happening. One is, and I think many of you have given me feedback on this, is that we're starting to think that in this economy, with the pandemic still going on, that there's a lot of companies who are posting jobs simply because legally they have to, when really their intent is to promote from within or not fill a position, but for legal reasons they have to post a job. And so I've thought that I've been a perfect fit for several jobs over the last, bunch of months, and then not heard back. I can check the status of my application, and then all of a sudden the job is closed. And I feel like, all right, they must have, just promoted from within, or they're not actually hiring someone from outside. And so that's one of the things. And then the other thing is, that's been an issue in my standpoint, is just trying to convince people that I can be a good fit. Right? That's been a thing. I think there's been, in my case, a lot of times where the algorithms look at my resume, literally the computer, the rats inside the inter-cyberwebs look at my resume, see that I don't have some keywords and aren't passing it on. Or if my resume is getting to the person that's involved in hiring, they just look at my resume and go, oh, why do we want this radio dude to work at our company? Even though, the positions I've been applying for, I have all the skill set for, whether it's been marketing or promotions or social media manager. That's what I'd really love to do, because I have a plethora of experience with producing content and using social media and running it for 2 different radio stations and all of that jazz. I think I'd be great for. But again, is some hiring manager going, well, this person doesn't have a certification, this person doesn't have this, that, what have you. Their last title was assistant program director and not social media manager, so we don't want to hire them. So that's been a problem for me. So whenever I do get selected for a job interview, I want to make the most out of it. And I really want to hit it a home run and feel like I need to give my best on this job interview because someone's taking a chance. So I'm not mentioning the companies, but I was selected for a job interview. And I kind of had a sneaky suspicion, because I went through this in the past. Before the pre-pandemic, After I lost my radio job in November of 2019, I was driving everywhere to go on job interviews. I must have been going on 2 or 3 a week. I was saying no to nothing. And I would say a good 75 to 80% of the interviews I was going on, whether it be in marketing, promotion, sales, social media, ended up being these front companies that are really just, they might be a company that pays people $10 an hour to walk around the streets of Miami and flyer, and they call that marketing. Or hey, can you go take the bus to Hialeah? We need to put up these posters, and that's marketing. And it was just getting really. A matter of fact, I actually was in conversations with NBC6 and some other news outlets about these companies that every time there was about 6 or 7, 8, maybe a dozen companies that were all using the same address in some high rise in downtown Miami. The interview process was hectic. You'd show up and there'd be 40 other people there. You'd get interviewed like in groups of 5 or 10, and you got all dressed up and you'd put on your suit or your dress. You'd go down there and it would be literally worthless because all of us, when I was doing this, all of us were professionals that had spent time doing something in a professional capacity, and these were jobs that barely existed, that paid minimum wage, where they wanted you to walk around town or make phone calls that weren't even cold call sales, but really just like, hi, we just want to let you know that we're awesome, yay, like stupid stuff. And it was a waste of my time. I could have been doing a lot more with my time and my effort when this was happening. And then, luckily, Code Ninjas took a chance on me, and I did that. Pandemic hit, things change, paradigms change, goals change, everything changes, and I left Code Ninjas in late August, and I've been looking ever since. And we're back to the point where, I just had a job interview today where, I got a Zoom invite, and I could just tell by the format of the email and the text that this was just another company that was a front for something. I don't know what. I have no idea. I don't know what games they're playing, but I just had an idea. And so sure enough, I got all dressed up, had my suit on, ready to go, rocked a power tie for this Zoom interview, and of course the recruiter is late. So that was something, because I've never gone through an actual real honest to goodness job interview where the person on the other side that's hiring is late. Hasn't happened. So that was weird. And all of a sudden the screen pops on and there's the hiring person, and he just starts fast talking. He's fast talking. He's saying words. He's talking so fast he's getting words wrong, and I'm just like, okay, but I'm sticking with it. But then, while that's going on, another girl pops onto my screen, and as it turns out, it's a group interview. And nothing says to me that you just are some front, some wackadoodle, some low-paying, not serious gig than the group job interview. It annoys me to hell. If you are hiring someone and you're serious about it and you're a real company, you take the time to bring a person into an office or do a Zoom where it's one-on-one, and that's what you do. Unless it's like a very entry-level position, which I understand. But the way this job was advertised, no, this is management. This is leadership. They wanted experience in leading realms of people. So I didn't think that this was an entry-level, minimum wage. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but this was advertised as something way more than that. And so I didn't think this would be a group interview. So when I saw that it was, I was like, oh, here we go again. And again, fast talk, using keywords, and direct marketing and big clients. And, we really do. And I'm just thinking to myself, listen, and he's throwing out names of actually in my wheelhouse of sports organizations that they work for directly, some in town. And I knew that if they were this power company, that they were really involved in this industry, that I would have heard of them. I would have known about their amazingness because I worked in the sports industry. Like, I know a lot of people, and I had never heard of this company. And I just, like, every word this guy was spitting out, I was just like, yeah, I'm not buying it there, buddy. And he gets done. They sent me an email. Please make sure you set aside an hour. This is going to be an in-depth interview. We're talking leadership and management here. You better have things to write with. You better, be ready to go. And it was literally 5 minutes. And the guy didn't stop talking. And at the end, he goes, "Do you have any questions?" And the other girl, she was just, I felt bad because I don't think she even knew what was going on. But because of my experience of going through these, I kind of had a clue. And so I said, well, can we go over again exactly what you guys do? I'd really love to know. And again, it was just, well, we do direct marketing for some of the biggest companies in the world and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And we have 6 offices all over the country and we employ thousands of people. And I'm like, yes, but what exactly do you do? Can I have an example? And he couldn't do it. He couldn't answer the question. If you make widgets, tell me you make widgets. That's fine. And it's just like, once again, you get my hopes up and you waste my time. And it's so annoying. Man, like when you've been unemployed for months, when you're dealing with a pandemic, when you're dealing with, where's the money going to come from to pay the bills? Unemployment's running out. I have to go deal with the state to get that renewed. When you're dealing with that, like, I don't need to be yanked around, man. Like, my mental and emotional state is not one where you can try to pass off whatever scam you got going on as a real company doing a real thing, because it's not there. You couldn't explain it to me. And then it was, well, if you pass this initial screening, you'll be brought into downtown Miami for a one-on-one interview, and you better bring all of your notepads and papers and pencils, and because this will be about contract negotiation. And it's just like, brother, I can read it on your face. Like, I don't know how much you're getting paid, or if you even work for this company that you claim to work for, but I'm sorry, man, because you're peddling something I ain't buying right now. And it's just, I got done, and I sat and looked at my computer at the Zoom screen, and I was just like, why? Like, why are you doing this to people? And why did I just get all dressed up, put my suit back on, and why? Like, I don't need this right now. It's just, man, it bothers me. So, here's a note. If it looks like, what's the saying? If it looks like a rat, it smells like whatever. There's a lot of people out there that are just trying to hoodwink you because they know you're desperate, because you're unemployed. And don't be one of those people. Like, if it doesn't seem real, if it seems too good to be true, if the guy or girl interviewing you can't tell you exactly what they do, if it's a group interview, if it's just seems not right, like, just leave the meet. Just get out of there. It's not worth your time. And the last thing I think that companies need to be doing right now is getting people's hopes up in this time, because we're all fragile. We're all really fragile, and we don't need this. All right, that'll do it for me. Hey, if you watch this video, I appreciate it. Subscribe, share, like, all of that stuff. And thank you for watching. And I'm gonna go drink some sparkling water. Not a product endorsement because I don't get paid, but AHA sparkling water gets the job done. It's refreshing. Really into the sparkling water these days. So good. See you when I see you. Peace.